is Freeloaders. I'm 3T.
And I'm Mike Papa Foxtrot.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download, bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at a racing game, Need for Speed Heat, which is the 24th installment in the Need for Speed series and celebrates the 25th anniversary back in 2019. And these are our first impressions.
Genuine first impressions for me, because I've never played one. Never played any Need for Speed Heat, or never played any Need for Speed game at all, let alone Heat.
Oh. Well, let me tell you some user reviews that fell off the internet.
I like this.
Here we go.
Let's do this every time.
Best. Well, no, this is from a guy that for some reason he's got about 20 reviews, but this was the one that I picked. I think it's for each bloody Need for Speed.
Oh.
The best NFS since Most Wanted and Carbon, and definitely lives up to the expectations. Those games left us in all areas except the story. A bit lackluster though with the basic story. The physics are fantastic. Feels like a fully refined version of Payback's physics, whatever that means. Then another review. The best Need for Speed yet, in my opinion. The mechanics of driving and the physics are phenomenal. So realistic. You can actually drive your lane at 150 miles an hour if your reaction time is good. However, there is also then, if you like racing and earning money to buy parts for your car in the game, there are
it's good that they clarified in the game
editing.
You're not going to be able to buy real parts for your real car.
Definitely an upgrade from the Need for Speed 1 I played when I was younger with my brother. Note, some music in the game was released back in November. My husband got it for me for Christmas. So anyway, there you go. They're just three.
I did enjoy.
I only printed three.
How your voice, as you were reading positive comments, your voice went fully sports presenter Alan Partridge at one point. It was great. So, what are we hoping from our first impressions? Are we going to hope to try and get into a two-player mode? Are we going to try and maybe see? I guess maybe there'll be a tutorial I
think we always follow the tutorial. I think this is what we're going to do. We have to see how it goes. Now, what I'm hoping for, my feeling here is I don't remember playing a Need for Speed game at all.
I've never played one.
But the fact that there appears to be a campaign and a story,
yes,
though a little bit lackluster, I'm wondering if it's going to be sort of a gone in 60 seconds kind of storyline,
maybe,
or will it be that the other one, the other racing, the other car movie with The Rock in it, and the one that's completely fallen out of my head.
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious. I mean, because some of those stories are brilliant, like stealing safes and bouncing them down the streets while the Spanish army's chasing you, or whatever the hell that story was.
I can honestly say I have never watched a Fast and Furious movie, and I feel better.
I've watched them all. They are brilliant. They are basically switch your head off and have a good time movie.
I've heard that they go downhill, and then at number 5 they get good again. that's the review. Which
seems to be what this review guy seems to be saying about the story here.
Well,
so
let's find out for ourselves, I guess. Have you got any other comments about it, or shall we?
No. I mean, like I said, neither one of us. I mean, we've played racing games before. We've got on with racing games. I mean, as long as the mechanics are Mario Kart-ish and as good as Sonic, and the visuals are as good as Tony Hawk's round island with a fridge, we should be okay, really.
I'll go for it then. Let's press X to continue. On your say-so.
X to continue.
Off we go. Loading a save game.
Terms and conditions.
I'm just going to click continue because this game will be lucky to stay on my dashboard. It's going to have to impress me, as they always do. I've got limited space, so I don't expect to keep many. Let's see what we get.
I don't know if I should be hoopying it along or not, but all experience portrayed in this video game are for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Difficulty.
Medium.
Easy, medium, or hard? I don't know.
I'm sticking to medium.
Medium it is then.
But I'm hoping it's going to be pretty basic, sort of almost GTA controls, shoulder buttons for pedals and so on. Enabling crossplay, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, go on then.
Play online, play solo. Well, here we go. So, what do we want to do? Play solo? It's not gone straight to it.
Let's start with solo. Talk about what we feel about the car, and then take a break, do online together, and then come back and talk about it afterwards. How about that?
I like your thinking. Let's do that. So I'm in solo.
Look at us planning. Look at us planning the program while we're doing the program. Anyone would think we were professionals. Anyway, I'm going to hit play solo.
Yeah, I am there. I've got a very slow loading pink bar at the bottom. I say that. I mean, God, if you showed this to me in the 1980s, I would think this was incredibly fast loading. Of the generation of a half an hour of playing an audio cassette, only for it to fail, and then rewind it and start again, just to play a disappointing game of Blockbusters.
I remember there was one cassette which loaded the game. It didn't load. And we turned the cassette over because somebody said, "Oh, the same game's on the other side." We turned the cassette over and we played. It was a completely different game on the other side of the cassette. It's actually a better game. I can't remember what it was. Was it Kane?
Each day, thousands of eager fans will be
an
hoping to
Amstrad or
catch a
Schneider
glimpse
CPC.
of the very
Anyway, a completely different game on it. It was like sort of a hidden Easter egg game on the other side of the cassette. It was like, what?
Back in the day when people could make games in their garage or their back bedroom. I don't know about you, but during that title sequence, I felt a little bit car sick watching them just speed past me all again and again. It was very jumpy.
I mean, the other thing that I'm like the visuals. I mean, if this is anything like Grand Theft Auto Online or Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto Online became the ultimate everything game, didn't it? Really?
Yes,
it still probably is.
Still going.
It's like a third-person sort of like shooting game. It's a driving game. It's a flying game. It's a heist game. It's got everything.
It's a game that tells you to spend money on it whilst making fun of games that tell you to spend money on them. It's the proper have your cake and eat it experience, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the reason why it is such a dominant game. I think. I mean, like there are games that are very similar, like Mafia, for example, had a little bit of nice driving in it.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, again, there was a story, but that was kind of like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Basically,
straight
I
into
don't
it.
know what the actual. I'm still looking at a policeman talking to me.
Yeah, this is our tutorial race. It's going to get lots of people talking at you with just mild screen prompts for how to accelerate and stuff. So I can get behind this kind of tutorial. Essentially, hold R2 down is what your instinct is. So it's going straight with that.
I did it as soon as the car dropped out. I did
Same.
it. So.
Which is nice. I'm going to get run off the road if these guys don't drive a bit more carefully.
Steer.
You seem to be very
well,
naughty.
I'd already worked that out. I'd already gone around a corner, so obviously I know how to steer.
Nitrous is X. Oh, God. I'm not great at racing games, I've got to say.
Oh, yeah, nitrous, yeah.
And I've hit a wall because I'm not very good. Oh, yeah, that's
Tell you
the
what,
break, yeah.
the lampposts are nice and easy to take out, aren't they?
Yep. I feel like I shot my load too early, as it were, with my nitrous, because I don't seem to have another one.
Well, it was telling me all about nitrous now, but I could have done with it now because I'm on a nice straight now.
No, I have got another one. Maybe it just takes a while to regen. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I nearly went in the water. Oh, no, I have gone in the water.
I'm currently 5th place, which is not seeming like a good thing.
I'm 6th at the moment, so... I'm wondering about a handbrake turn. I'm actually considering which one is the handbrake at the moment.
Oh, I've come off.
Circle. Yeah, I was in the water. I kind of went off in the water.
And I've wasted my nitrous while I was going very slowly. But never mind.
Yeah, nitrous is reloaded. I see. That's it. Down the bottom is a picture.
Oh, that's the little blue battery thing.
The little blue bottle, yeah, and it respawns. I tell you what, if you keep hitting trees, it... Okay, that's... Oh, handbrake square. Okay, what's reverse then? That's reverse. Okay, handbrake square. Okay, I could have done with that a few seconds ago.
I've no idea what the story is. I think the police are involved. Obviously, we're being very naughty. We're not supposed to be driving around the streets like this. I'm surprised there's not a bit more traffic, but then I don't know what sort of this city's...
quite late at night, I suppose. I am now 5th of 6th.
I finished 2nd in the end, so I'll live with that.
Miles away.
But you're playing with the controls, like you're learning how handbrakes work, and I thought, well, I don't really want to try that in the middle of a race.
Oh yeah, handbrake turn. Not your friend on a sharp corner though.
Okay, I can get behind that though. As I say, as a tutorial, chuck you straight into a race and say, just keep driving like you feel like you would, is okay by me. Teach me the basics of the car.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. I finished 4th.
Okay, I didn't see my time. I ended up second somehow.
What did you do?
My character has come out of his car. I think my nice yellow car has gone in the water. I think that was mine. Now I'm getting kicked by some cops.
Oh yeah, I'm on a bridge. I'm in a bridge being chased.
Who says he did?
I'm tempted to skip it, but
No,
Be
well, I
alright
mean, it's
for
all
now.
part of the experience, isn't it? That's the
guess.
thing. And yeah, my yellow car is
Sending a
destroyed.
message.
Wait, stop!
I don't know if the cops are corrupt
Back there.
or if I'm undercover. But I don't.
Yeah, I
care
mean
that
that's the
much.
thing. I mean, I mean, could this be like Bad Boys? Could this be? He's wearing a mask. Oh.
Crew's gotta learn. Try making a mockery of my unit.
So I don't know.
Says he did.
Just get on with it, really. I don't know if it's just as I'm getting older that I care less and less about stories, but in games at least. I don't know, but this feels... I thought this was going to be a straight racing game, so I guess it's nice that there are different options to play. It's having a campaign is...
We see you or any of your crew
It's a
around
very
here.
rare thing these days with
Yeah.
online games, though. It's becoming rarer, so I kind of, I mean, this is from 2019, so
Yeah, that's
I'm going to give it a pass just because they're. Now that's interesting because I didn't think the tough books from police cars actually disconnected like that. They don't actually live on a docking station in that way, but okay.
Maybe this is some kind of semi-futuristic thing. Or
Also,
maybe
she's wearing a very interesting police uniform. It seems to be some kind of weird, jet black neon Viking thing.
I'm wondering if these are all like, well, two of them at least must be sort of undercover-ish. Or detectives, perhaps, I don't know.
Well, no, because they were going to shoot the guy. They were going to shoot the guy that was us. So,
Oh, I don't know then.
and it doesn't make any sense.
Bro, where the hell's your car? Hey,
I mean,
Too
is
much
it like?
story
It's
I'm going back to Ventura and I'm taking
I don't
Richie
know.
with me.
here. I don't know.
not getting anything from the from it, unless of course it's like,
just gonna walk to Ventura?
once a year or once a month or whatever, the police and the bad people get together with the best sports cars they can find, and they race it out. And whoever wins that night dominates the scene for the rest of the month or year.
Maybe. Well, that's got me to the title screen anyway at last. Oh, no, more story. Okay. Or is it? Or is this just the intro music?
Well, I mean, the thing is, this does give us a chance to look at the graphics. The graphics are quite nice. I mean, the trouble is these are sort of, we're on rails at the moment, so I don't think you could have failed that race, for example. So.
No, I think whatever position you made it, you were going to get your car smashed and kicked off a
I
bridge.
don't think you could have got to first. I don't think you were able to do that.
I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah, now I'm at the title screen.
I will comfort myself by agreeing with you that it's probably not possible to get first. I don't think it's even the point of it. I think it is just literally learn how to drive your car. Okay, looking at some trophies now.
Okay, I don't know. Did you push anything when you got to the Riviera family
Nah,
garage?
I'm just letting it play out. It appears to be a sort of first person walking around a garage having a look at trophies and stuff. I'm tempted to press X just to see what it
As
does.
important as fighting crime is, and we are committed to fight. Come on in. Our job is
But
about
I'll let it play for a little bit longer. I just want to take control of it again.
Spicy shirt. Yeah.
hearing your stories, listening to your concerns. That's how we
I like that the news station is called WFFL Waffle 86.
Sorry, just a little too much bullshit this early in the
That
day.
is reflecting how I'm feeling about
But if you're
all
looking
the
for
story.
wheels,
Squirrel
I gotta see
news. Was it squirrel? Was it weasel? No,
Oh,
weasel.
Weasel news. Yeah, yeah.
Weasel news.
as important as fighting crime is,
Right, come on, fade to black. And
Yeah, wasn't he one of the bad dudes that was on the
I think
on the
so.
pier trying to kill us? I
yeah,
think he was.
corrupt cop or whatever he is. Okay, choose a character from one of these basic stereotypes. I'm going to be.
How are you ahead of me? How are you so far?
I'm
ahead?
only a few seconds. It just feels like longer because it's like interminable.
I don't know if my audio is picking up, but I am trying to interact with the.
I'm going to be this nice lady with the very tight top and
it's not-
short trousers.
It's not Peppers, it's Feathers. I thought it was Peppers.
I thought
on
it was
the show.
Peppers to start with as well.
It's like,
Okay, I'm this lady.
Feathers.
I'm the third lady from the left.
oh, is you a lady?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
She seemed attractive enough. That's what I would look like if I was a lady, I expect.
Okay. Well,
If I was Asian and a lady, I'd look like her.
there's nobody here that looks anything like me. So I'm gonna go with the guy that looks like he's on drugs, wearing the Hawaiian shirt thing.
I look forward to seeing which one that was. Oh, I've got to choose a
Do you
car
want to
now.
select? Do you want to select that character? Yes, please.
Do I want BMW, Ford, Mustang, BMW, Evolution, Nissan, or a Chevrolet? I don't know. I don't know cars.
I have to say it was really nicely done, actually, that transition in, because
Yeah.
we didn't see who we were until we picked who we were. So that was quite well done.
It's fair
And
enough.
then they've inserted us into the animation now. So
I'm going to go for the muscle car. Oh, I can't have it.
you always like muscle cars because you like the sort of the drifting, the rear drifting, because you have raced with stuff before. I remember it was it on Grand Theft Auto you were liking the muscle cars?
Yeah, I tried a bit of everything. I think that kind of that, I think for a while they were the ones I had a lot that were customized.
Well, I think my guy is more sort of Japanese style, so I'm going with the Nissan.
I wasn't allowed the Chevrolet. I had to take the first one, I think. Well, I ended up going back to the first one. So
Oh, I've gone with the Nissan. I like the Japanese kind of what is it, JDL, Japanese spec or whatever they're called.
well, I got the Mustang in the end. Set a waypoint. What does he want me to do? I don't get it. Map routing. Route to an event and close the map.
It's just trying to teach us all of the bits of it. So we'll do the first mission, and then I got a trophy.
Me
We'll
too.
do the
Welcome to
first-
Palm City, and then close the map, and then I got to get there, I suppose.
Where's Palm
Take it
City?
easy. Let's just get this
Find
car
out.
to the start line in one piece.
Oh, you can go to two different places.
I guess just this is a bit open-ended in that way. Wait, should I be driving on? Yeah, driving on the right. Oh, I've missed my
Down.
turning.
Nah, that was
Where should I go? Where should I go? Did you go to like? The
I just
Hexagon,
went
or
to the
did you go
closest one.
He built that yellow 67 Camaro with his
I'm
own
gonna
two
go to the
hands.
Hexagon. I'm gonna go to
Made himself a champion.
Oh, that was a road. That looked like grass.
Looks like he was good.
Okay, I should look at the map really more, shouldn't I?
Showdown's a big deal around here, huh?
And then
I'm not
close.
complaining.
Okay,
Great
so
for
that's your
business.
navigation.
And if you
It's a little bit of GTA, I will say, because now it's like go to this place and do a thing.
GTA is like Driver and things like that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Oh, this car is. I don't know if I picked the right car here. Has this got a manual gearbox? We're going to manually change the gears.
I doubt it. I don't know though. Oh, who needs roads?
Not where we're going.
I'm just gonna cut straight.
Am I on the correct side of the road? Yeah, I am.
Forget this. I'll go through the car park.
Oh, I'm going to do a handbrake turn. There we go. You know how to do a handbrake turn.
Oh, lampposts aren't important, are they? Yes.
No, I've crashed through so many trees. I'm hoping my car sustains damage, because that'd be nice to sort of see the recurring damage.
It feels quite a heavy. Oh, I've taken a snapshot somehow. I was hoping to change my view to the front. I was going to see if my car had taken any damage. But right, I found a circuit race.
Oh, I'm going to a hexagon. Oh no, I'm not apparently, because I've just gone wrong. Oh well, that ended badly. Yeah, my car. I don't know what's wrong with my car. Oh, I have to go over the bridge. I guess it's because it's rear wheel drive, but it likes to sort of throw its ass out. How do we get up there then?
Well, I've started a race, I think.
Dex, hey, be gentle with my friend here. We're breaking in a new car.
crash through
If
things.
it's one of yours,
Right.
it's half broke all
his feather shirt. I think he was in the car with me though, because somebody was yammering at me as I was driving.
Yeah, funny guy, very funny. You're always welcome.
Oh god, somebody's tyres look knackered. I guess they've been angled out for some kind of bonus, but okay, off we go.
Oh
I'm
no,
doing a race.
there is that sort of thing where they do have tyres out for things.
Well, it
Can I
looks
go in here?
like it's on its ass. Oh god. I wonder if I've got nitrous already. Oh, you swines.
I don't think I can go in where I'm going. I think I was supposed to go to a race. Instead, I went to another place. I think I was supposed to go to a race. I can't work out how to get in here. I went to like the hexagon building.
Oh, I don't know. I just chose the first set of flags and went for a race, I suppose.
Well, no, I just what I mean. That's why I asked if you went for a race because I didn't. But that's all right because luckily I can navigate to a race. I'm just going to navigate to a race.
Well, what I'm probably going to do is just get this race out of the way. Oh god! I wonder what happens if I go into a swimming pool. Not great, I bet.
How do we start a race?
R1. Yeah, it's quite. The prompts are not in your face either, which is
No,
nice.
I mean to be honest with you, that let me drive around. I mean, I didn't find I got a lot of scratches on this car.
Yeah.
I actually went and found the race after the fact, so that was quite nice.
Yeah.
That was nice that I didn't have to navigate my way to the race. I could just drive around town.
Yeah, very open-ended.
So, yeah, I like that. I mean, again, you know, it's what we've come to expect. Oh my god, I think that guy's car's on fire.
Well, the handbrake turn is very useful because my race has got a massive hairpin in it. And,
Oh yeah, I handbrake. I mean, I handbrake turned to get where I was going. Now, can we crash people off the course? Can we crash people off the course? Can we crash people off the course? Yeah, we can, but they can crash us too. That's annoying.
Third. That's not great, is it? $6,600 though.
Oh, I nearly ended up in water then. Oh, I missed the checkpoint. That's not good. That's because he threw me off the bloody road. That's why we missed the checkpoint.
Oh, I've got to go and buy a nitrous kit now I've completed a race, so maybe I'll do that and then we'll work out where we want to.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the time you've done that, I mean, I think that's where I went to start, and
okay.
that's the thing. I've done things in the wrong order, so because
What did the
you know,
prompts
I don't follow instructions. I love these plastic bollards. They really die really easily. Don't they? You just
Yeah.
drive through them.
I thought they were going to be much more resistant, but apparently no. They just fly in the air when you touch them.
No, but you know, you do feel the whack of them when you hit them. So.
I think
I'm
I'm on the
wondering
wrong
if-
side. I think this is like a dual carriageway, and I am about to experience some real problems in a minute.
I'm interested because all of those they fixed this track up. This track is repaired. On my first lap around, I destroyed quite a lot of it.
How come it closed?
And when I came around the second time, it was fixed.
There's some very fast-working little goblins doing their thing.
You're gonna love my footage because I'm basically driving sideways most of the time.
Oh, I'm driving like a real idiot, but it's.
I have
got the
also
job.
worked out. My problem is I've been flooring it into the ground, whereas if I actually feather the throttle, I actually have this thing called oh, hang on, what's it called? No, control. That's right.
Oh, who needs that?
Hey, I can hear you.
Is this person dressed like me? No.
Did Lucas sell you this?
The graphics are nice. I mean, for a 3-year-old game, especially, that is.
You could say
And for a
that.
PS4, which is, let's face it now, older generation tech.
Well, my first
Not that you
race
can
in
get
all
hold of
that.
a PS5 these days.
She's perfect for someone
Well,
just
I
stepping
don't know.
out.
There are a lot of broken ones.
enough.
Anyway, that's another story.
I don't think I want one if they're that easily
Swimming
broken.
around town 'cause of showdown. They're only
it's-
selling if they know you're gonna put the
My
parts
guy's
to
taking a
use.
selfie. I got rewarded. I got some money.
Yeah,
when
what-
I came last.
Oh, how much money did you get?
Confidence.
4,000 and something.
Oh, well, you'd have to try that hard. I got 6,000 for coming third, so...
What do you mean? Don't have to try that hard.
No, I mean, what I mean is to earn money, because if you can come last and still get 4, and I only got 2,000 more for coming
It's only
third.
one way to make a name for yourself around here.
Okay, I'm off to get a nitrous kit.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll call that the end of part 1 while we have a bit more of an
And
explore.
then we will again. I mean, it's not I should probably drive on the correct side of the road. It's not awful. I don't like the map navigation. I have to say, I'm not enjoying the map. The scale. I haven't quite worked the scale of the map out yet.
But you never really use. Well, you're quite. It's taken you a long time to even bother with maps. Normally, you work things out sort of on your own anyway. So
I also might be driving on the wrong side of this carriageway. Yeah, there's a bloody truck bearing down on me. I'm going to play chicken with him. No, missed. It was an ambulance, actually. Is this an ambulance? No, it's a hire car. Oh, well, this is good fun. I'm enjoying this. This is new game. Yeah, I was driving on the wrong side of the dual carriageway.
I don't know. Oh, right. So I'll set a little waypoint, and then you tell me when you're done, and I'll just casually drive to this waypoint, I think.
Oh, well, I'm arriving at this moment in time at the shop, so I would suggest that might be a good point for us to knock it on the head for part one. So for us, it will be some time, and no doubt we will try and work out how to race with each other. But for you, it will be momentarily.
So we've spent a bit of time tearing up the streets like a couple of naughty boys. Mike, what did you think about Need for Speed Heat, or whatever this one's called?
Well, once the whatever this one's called, yeah, there's got a few different names. There's been quite a few different names over the 24 iterations. Yeah, it took a little bit of time to work out why it was called Heat, and it was because you have to generate the heat to get the police, to get the multipliers, to get the points, and that kind of thing. And it took me a little bit of time to work that out. Because I was driving around like a good boy, and then I worked it out. But what did I think of it? I thought it was actually it's a very good driving game. It's got weight, it's got mass. I mean, my car was a bit rubbish. I can see why you'd have to upgrade the car and get like a better car as time goes on for racing. But I think you and I, we both said, we both agreed while we were racing and just generally, having fun and being naughty and, delaying ambulances and stuff and, running into boats and stuff. The problem is that in this modern world, it is only a racing game, but it's a very good racing game. It's very good at doing one thing, which is racing.
Street racing.
And that's that. I mean, and I enjoyed it as a racing game, but I think one or two times we both said, "Oh yeah, but we could do this in GTA," things like that. And I don't think that's fair to this game.
No,
because I think what it is that GTA came along and kind of is that Goliath that kind of does everything. It's that one-stop fun for everything. And this reminded me more of Driver and those kind of sort of classic driving games where you are in the car and it's all about like finding that line. It also had it also reminded me a little bit of things like Trackmania and stuff like that, because that's about finding because I think I mentioned that, trying to find like drift lines and things like that. So there's some technicality to it. But what did I think? I think it's a very competent driving game.
Yeah, I appreciate the focus on it. It knows what it wants to be. It's not trying to be anything other than a decent street racing game. And putting in a campaign, like I say, I don't know what the other Need for Speed games are like, whether they have campaigns similar. But the idea that you are in a Fast and Furious type movie, you're in a crew of people who just want to race as well as they can, make their cars as good as they can be, and win at races. And the races are competent, they're well put together, the cars feel they feel heavy, they feel a little bit indestructible. We have put that quite a lot to the test. I don't know if a real car in the real world would still be drivable after some of the stuff that we were doing with it.
I do wonder about coming back and changing the settings to hard. I'm wondering if maybe it's just the cosmetic damage. Maybe easy gives you no damage, medium gives you cosmetic damage, a little bit of, and maybe hard gives you like real world damage. I mean, that's something to consider.
Interesting thought. But yeah, it is. It's good at what it does. It just maybe what it does doesn't interest me enough to let me be completely unbiased. But I didn't. The graphics are lovely. The handling is pretty much what I expected. It doesn't feel sluggish. It feels about as sluggish as a real car probably would, I guess. But not in a bad way. The races, I don't know whether it was just the story mode aspect of it that it needed you to finish. There were some times in some races that felt like you said, I think at one point that like maybe did they just let me catch up?
I think in the story mode that's what they're doing. They're letting you catch up.
Yeah, but overall it's a very solid, competent, nice game for a game that's 3 years old. Sorry, don't know why I said months. Yeah. It's fine. It's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's got similar vibes to me like Driver. I had Mafia feedback vibes as well, with a little bit of the campaign that we've actually played. That sort of like drive here, do this. But then also it's got Grand Theft Auto. It's got the campaign is drive places, do places, that kind of thing. Like you were quite happy with the controls, and I think so was I. You did actually say, wow, the controls are just what you need. In fact, you were a little bit jealous of my little Nissan's horn.
Yeah, silly things like that is the real.
But the thing is that became very. The novelty of that wore off very quickly. I don't know. The thing is, maybe 3 years. I don't think 3 years ago. I don't think in 2019 the gaming world was much different than it is today.
No.
And I think that's the thing. We've played similar things to this, like Mafia. We played. In fact, that was free on the PlayStation Network. It's a drive game. Got a similar campaign feel to it.
Yeah.
But not really just into the driving. That had different things. I mean, and maybe this campaign you're not like, you just felt like you're in the car all the time, and that's, I mean, not that we played the whole campaign because that's not what we want to do. But then, as I think I said, it's nice in this modern world that an online game actually still has a campaign. So I don't want to diss its campaign because it's good because you get games these days where there is no campaign. One thing that did irritate, but again, it's not something which is just beholden to this game, is that it did take some working out of how much of the campaign do you have to play before it will actually allow you to become a crew member, so that then you can then become you can then meet people online to play online. And the sort of the buddy up system was a bit complicated, but we had a couple of weird little bugs with stuff like that, trying to sort of start races together, but nothing awful. And once you'd completed enough of the campaign, which is basically do the first race, and then go to your garage and change your engine, and then that's that. Just follow all the on-screen prompts, really. Don't try and overthink it. Once you've done that, then suddenly it is easy to then meet up, and it was quite an easy sort of party system once we worked it out. But again, I don't know if you've got people who are used to now multi-online games or online type games where you don't have a campaign, and so you just want to jump in. Because the controls were all there. The controls were there. Just give me the default car. Let me have the controls. Let me play online. Not having if only one of you has been through. I'm trying to say this really badly, but that irritated me a little bit. But again, I guess that gets you into the game, and the campaign probably is there. So
maybe we were looking at it differently. My initial irritation at having to got to do another campaign mission to before we can sync up, I can see why, because you have to do two things. You have to race, so you learn how races work, and then you have to learn how heat works and how reputation works. And because it's not just a racing game. Even the online game, it's like, again, we keep GTA is that because it's a jack of all trades. It's that you have to be in a crew and you have to be together in the same world and then go and do a race. So it's not just, hey, let's race. It's okay, you find a race and invite me. And because we did a bit of free driving and we smashed up some ambulances and we've been chased by the police, and I guess that's helped our reputation in the game. Do I care about that? No. If I care about that, I've got GTA, a much older game, but a game that I'm much more familiar with and invested in, and a game that actually lets me, if I want to, get out my car and go and do something different. But it's an unfair comparison because this is a pure racing game, isn't it? So
exactly, and also this is you in real-world cars.
Yes,
that was a real-world Japanese JDM Nissan, and I can imagine if you're really into cars. You unlock a real car and you go to town and you basically customize it. It's a poor man's garage basically. Instead of having to go and buy a car and like have a garage space, and, have bits of car all over your living room while you try and rebuild the engine, you can probably do it virtually here.
That's a good point. And everybody's about taking photos and look at me and changing your character and changing your car.
It's definitely got that social media vibe to it, hasn't it? That sort of like everybody sort of lives through their screens and through their things. So there is that to it, and there are these kind of things. I mean, you see these in films where there are these random street races. In towns, and you hear about them on the news sometimes, where the police break up like these
car meets,
street salons. In fact, actually, there were some in the UK during Corona and things like that. And I remember that there was one winter when there was an iced car park and the police turned up, and instead of like everyone running away, it was on the internet. Instead of everyone running away, the police basically turned on their lights and they did the circuit of the course, and then they drove away because nobody was on the main road. They were in a private car park.
Yeah.
And so the police were like, yeah, all right.
Not hurting anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, these kind of things, they do happen in the real world, but I don't think they happen quite like they do here, where you're racing at night, into head-on traffic. Or maybe they do. What a terrifying experience. What a terrifying thought. But I mean, we've sort of discussed what it's like.
Yeah.
And I think we don't really have to discuss what it's not like.
I think we've covered that.
Kind of done that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a modern day version of Driver, but Driver meets Fast and Furious, I guess.
Well, because the driver's sort of like the driver. I don't think you couldn't get out of the car seat in Driver.
Not in the first one. In the second one, you could, and he ran like a sort of very very strange stickman. But they were trying, and that's God. That's.
But then
like
Grand Theft Auto was still top down at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was still 2D.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a solid racing game with an interesting campaign. If you are a car nut, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's like if you were playing something, if you're playing a shooting game and you just love guns and are a mad gun nut, then you're gonna want to see real world guns. If you are a mad car nut, you're gonna want to see real world cars. So what this does for you, if you're massively into cars, is lets you live that dream. And I'd never thought of it until you said that. You absolutely hit the nail on the head. It's that dream fulfillment, wish fulfillment of car nuts.
Well, this is the thing with like the modern shooters that we play, is that sometimes the weapons are not real weapons, they're just made up weapons. Yeah. And I think a lot of it's licensing and stuff like that. And, because everything's and I think that sort of thing, I mean, it's cost them money to get this fancy logo. Yeah. What car were you driving?
I had a Ford Mustang. The other options were a Chevy something and a...
Yeah, I mean, they're all real world cars. So, I mean, I can sort of... I can get down with that fact that they've put a lot of effort into that. And
that also might explain why those cars were not as destructible as they might be in the real world, because they don't want to piss off the people who they've paid a lot of money to be able to use their cars. Like, don't show it explode, though. Okay.
Wasn't there something in... With Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange, when he drives that car off the bridge, and they wrecked it, he wrecks the car, which damages his hands, which causes him to become basically Doctor Strange. I know that's not quite. I'm just, I'm skipping.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
that
Spoiler
sums it
alert
up.
if you haven't seen the first movie.
Or the first half an hour, the first 20 minutes of the first. Yeah.
If I remember rightly, the company that the company that gave them the car were furious at how they'd wrecked the car because, of course, you have that now. It's bad public relations, so I can see that. I can agree. I can understand what you're saying now. That makes absolute sense. It's the reason why you sometimes see you say, why is that car missing its front? Why are all these police cars missing their front badges? And it's because they don't want you to know that it's a Ford police car or something. Because
a bored Mustang can explode, but a Ford Mustang had better probably keep itself together.
So we've covered most things. I mean, are you happy enough with the time you've invested in the game? I mean, I'm happy because
I am.
I was with you again. I come back to this every time. It was more the company than the game. Can't see myself sitting down and playing the campaign on my own because, well, who knows? Maybe we'll see. It might get deleted from the dashboard. It might not. I haven't really decided if I'm yet. But I don't see myself playing this kind of game on my own.
No.
So I can only see myself really utilising the multiplayer. But you never know. Maybe I will. Be surprised. I mean, I played a lot more golf than I thought I was ever going to. So
True enough. Yeah, I mean, it's worth the hard drive space, the time I've invested into it. I've had a good time with it. Would I have paid for it? No, it just doesn't interest me.
Not my cup of tea either. So yeah, I can. I mean, that's the problem. Is I don't think I would have paid for a lot of these games. But as we keep coming back to, we have paid for these games because we are paying into the actual PlayStation network or whatever it's called these days.
I think we need to change. Our wrap-up question because would we have paid for it is never really accurate. I think is it worth the money is a better one. Is it worth the money?
Yeah, I think so. Would you have bought it? It's probably another one, just straight up, right off.
I think it's worth the money. I think it's a very polished, nice-looking game, and it's very competent, and it feels nice. And if you're into racing games, then it's keep it on your dashboard. It's worth it, but not for me. Because ultimately apparently I've got quite a short attention span when it comes to driving games, and I just want to get out my car and do something else. But ultimately,
I think I said something similar. I said, "There's no pedestrians to." And then I won't continue the sentence because it makes me sound like a psycho.
Yeah. So the streets are emptier than a sandbox game, but it doesn't want to be that. It wants to be a racing game, and that is your pure motive: is be the best at racing. And if that's what you want to do, you could do a lot worse. So I guess with that, this is 3T.
And this is Mike Papa Foxtrot, and we were looking at Need for Speed Heat that was freeloadable from the PlayStation Network for September 2022.